How do you define success? And moreover, how do you make sure you keep heading down the path of a success? Stick around. We are going to talk with our guest, Kristian McCray Stewart, and I am Traci Poe, founder and host of the Oh Yes I Can events group, Women in Business group, and this is the Oh Yes I Can Women in Business podcast. So, Kristian, I love that you're here. Thank you so much for being on. Kristian is a founder as well. She is the founder of McCray Stewart and Associates, is a law firm, and Kristian is an attorney. So we're going to talk about several things. We're going to be talking about success today. She really wants to share some great tips on success, but I also want to be sure to plug her as an attorney because we are a group of women in business, and Kristian's your girl. If you want to talk contracts, whatever business legal things might be, she absolutely can help you with all the things. So, Kristian, I will let you tell the audience who you are, what you do, and maybe you can let them know how you can help them with their business before we get into all of your tips on success.
Definitely. So first, Traci, thank you so much for having me on. It is truly a pleasure. And as Traci has stated, I'm Kristian McCray Stewart. I am the founding attorney of McCray Stewart and Associates. We are your trusted advocates for justice and peace of mind. And as Traci was stating, I have experience dealing with business professionals. So whether it's reviewing contracts, drafting contracts, even helping new businesses get up and running with their filings and different things that they have to do with the IRS, we are definitely knowledgeable about it. And that's not the only area that we actually serve our clients. We do personal injury, estate planning, family law, and criminal defense. And so we're one of those, if you have a legal issue, reach out to us. If we're at a point that it's not something we can assist you with, then we have colleagues, we have referrals that we can send you to so that they can assist you as well. But we're always trying to serve our community, help in any capacity that we can. And it's truly a love in doing this work.
I love it. I love seeing women who have a passion for what they're doing. And I know you have a passion for what you do. And speaking of that, I know a lot of times you will give talks to people about kind of that mindset and the success and all of the things because you have such a heart to see others succeed. And that is one of the things I love about you. So speaking of succeeding, you are definitely talking to us about that today. So why don't you just go for it? Let our audience know what you have for them.
Well, definitely. And I think the first thing when you're talking about succeeding is defining success for yourself, right? Success is not a blanket for everybody. It's not one size fits all. What is personal to you? What truly makes your heart beat? What gives you purpose to make you continue to show up? And so for me, this was a calling. It's not just a career. It's not something that I just do. This was truly a calling. Like, oh, when I get older, what are you going to do? I'm going to be an attorney. And so what does success look like in that field? Well, it was getting to a place that I would run my own law firm to be a blessing to other people as far as job opportunities are concerned. And more importantly, is serving the people. Justice for all, right? Because when you have a lack of justice for some, then ultimately that means our rights for every aspect of it, they're being dwindled. And I truly just have no desire for that. And I'm concerned about the whole person. Yes, people come to me and they have various legal issues, and I'm more than happy to serve them. We're going to go above and beyond, but we're also concerned about the individual person. What is your future endeavors? What are you trying to pursue? How can we come alongside you? We even have times where our clients are truly dealing with life circumstances. We will take the time out of our busy schedules. Can we pray with you? Where can we meet you in your point of need beyond just the legal aspect? And so I feel like it's now, I started my firm in 2018. Here we are in 2025, and we're continuing to grow. We're continuing to have an impact. We're continuing to even grow and provide opportunities for the community where they don't have to pay us to do it. Wow. And so you find that balance. How can I truly serve? And so success for us is, how do we show up and serve and truly have an impact and make an impact?
I love that. I love that because actually, as the founder of Communicate Great, That is one of the things that I am so concerned about is, I talk about deeper connection, stronger relationships, and greater impact. And it's because I believe we all have impact that we can share with the world. We can impact the world. You throw a stone, and I know people use this analogy all the time. You throw a stone at a pond and you see that ripple effect, right? We can take one action and change the world. And you know this and you embrace this. And you share your passion, you share your knowledge, you share your field of expertise, your career, all of that with others.
Yes. Excuse me. And I will tell you what's truly a blessing. And so when you have these moments where clients reach back out to you and they're like, you truly impacted my life. Like, I'm so thankful to know you. Or what I will say as well, I've definitely encountered a lot of people and their experience with attorneys have not been that good. Right. And that's one thing that often breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But when I can't control those past experiences, but what I can do is show up and provide them a better representation of what attorneys actually are and what they represent.
Yeah. And you hear about the attorney jokes, the lawyer jokes all of the time. And so I am sure that when you hear those, it's like, oh, I'm sure it kind of breaks your heart because the love that you have for your clients who you're serving, and you're not one of the people. And let's be for real. I mean, there are kind of jerks in every profession,
So true.
people who are looking to get over on somebody, who are only concerned with their pocketbook, their status, what is in it for them. And that's not all attorneys, and that's certainly not you.
Mhm. That is so true. And I think that gets us to one of the second tips that I wanted to share. And so when you're thinking about what success looks like, what's your dream, what's your vision, you have to set clear goals and have a vision, right?
Yeah.
I love the verse that says, write the vision and make it plain.
Yes.
So what are you desiring to obtain? Who are you and what are you going to represent? When it's all said and done, what are people going to say about you? So when I think about building this firm and we're practicing in multiple states, we want to show up and we want to show people that, hey, we're all about making sure we communicate well with you, that there's honesty, that there's respect, that there's integrity, that we're going to serve you above and beyond, that you can trust us. And those values do not waver. And so once we have the vision and we know where we're going and what we're trying to obtain, then we can set the goals, right? You're setting the goals. Okay, how are you training your staff for them to show up? How, of course, you have marketing goals. You have to run the business as well, right? We're not getting away from the business. But one thing that I know is if you treat people well and you do well, it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you. So in the 7 years that I have been operating this firm, one thing I'm so thankful for is that I've never been in a place where I'm just like, okay, I can't pay the bills or anything of that nature. And I think it's more because showing up and being authentic. I know the vision and we're running this race and we're going to continue. We're not going to compromise
Love it.
integrity just for a dollar. We're not going to do that. And pursuing that vision, it helps us every day. Okay, because it's like, what is your why? Why are you doing this? There's people who are dependent on me, from the clients, from staff, from my family. There's people who are dependent on me. And so it gives me another boost to show up every day and to know, hey, if I keep on pursuing it, what I've envisioned all these years, it's going to get there. But it's a journey. And I know where I'm traveling to. So that's that second tip. We have to make sure that we are setting specific goals. We have to make sure that we have this vision. And then we're aligning everything as we're continuing to take those steps.
There are so many similarities in what you're saying with what I do when I work with people. Okay, so first you have to define what success is for you.
Yes.
And that truly is different for each people. Then you have to have your vision. And that's just not dreaming it or thinking about it and putting it on the vision board right there. It's deeper than that. You said you have to have a plan. What are your goals? Okay, all right, so what's next?
So you have your goals, right? You have the vision, you know what you're going to. Now comes some of that hard work. You have to be disciplined and consistent. You have to be disciplined and consistent. You can have this grand vision, but if you're not putting in the work, if you're not going to put in the effort, if you're not going to show up first for yourself, there's no way for you to show up for anybody else. And I think a lot of us, especially in this as entrepreneurs, it's not easy, right? Some people, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. Well, the thing about it is you have no cushion. You have to show up for yourself. You have to show up and work every day.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to put in long hours. But if you keep showing up, you keep sowing the seeds, in due season, you're going to reap the harvest.
Mm-hmm.
In due season, it's going to come and you're going to see the results of your labor. And that's the thing. I will tell you, even for this year, one of my words was just being consistent. Being
Mm-hmm.
consistent in every aspect of life, and it really pays off. It really pays off when you get to that place and you say, hey, look, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do what it takes, regardless of how you feel, right? Because sometimes you don't feel like getting up. Sometimes you don't want to do it. But that's a part of that discipline and that consistency. And being an athlete, a former athlete, that's one thing that resonates with me, right? You have to be disciplined. You have to go in the gym and you have to work out. And it's the same thing with our businesses. Figure out what works for you in your definition of success, and then continue to show up for yourself every day.
Mm.
Those go.
Yes. Yeah. And so let a time out. What sport did you play? You said you were an athlete. Just curious.
Basketball, I love it.
Love it.
I'm
That's
joking with my son. I was like, look, because I just had the baby 6 weeks ago, and I'm like, soon as I get back in a where I can work out and everything, I'm ready to go back to the court. So
I love it. I was playing with my boys, I don't know, it was years ago, and I used to be able to shoot from pretty far out and nail it. And I took a shot and I felt something like rip in my shoulder, and I was like, I think I'm done for a minute. So anyhow, I'm getting a little older. Okay, all right. I love it. I love basketball. Okay, now we can get back to what you were saying. Let's talk. Let's talk about being consistent. And so showing up, you talk about showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not. And I want to say this. There are times I don't feel well and I will grab my laptop and I will work that day from the bed, right? It's not that I'm out, running a marathon or whatever, but I do have the luxury of doing that. Not everybody does. Some people have to physically get up and go to a brick and mortar. So I would say, yes, be consistent and do it to the best of your ability in that moment. And also, you talk about be consistent. That just is more than your work ethic in terms of doing the work, but I'm sure you agree being consistent is in your reaching out to people, trying to get those leads, your social media or whatever marketing you're doing. So it's consistency in doing the work, in your marketing, in your lead generation system. And maybe you have a team that does that. And if you do, consistently following up with them to make sure they're getting that work done. So consistency, that is huge. I'm really glad that you brought that up.
yes, and one thing that you stated, Tracy, which kind of leads into another step, was that you were saying like those days that you don't really feel like doing anything, but you grab that laptop and you do the work in the bed.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, so the next step that we need to look at is take imperfect action. It won't always look polished, right?
Right.
It won't always be like, oh, this is the best of the best. But the thing is, we learn, we adjust, and we grow. So
Mm.
sometimes the actions that you're doing is not perfect. Like for instance, you were talking about the marketing. You're probably having to reach out to people and begin to build those connections and to build your network. Well,
Mhm.
guess what? If you're anything like me, when I first started doing that, I don't want to call people. I don't I don't want to make those calls. But the thing
Yeah.
about the more you do it, the comfortable you'll get.
Yeah.
It's still going to pull you outside of your comfort zone, but you're going to find your pocket of strength that you have in there. And as you continue to show up, not only are you learning, you're adjusting to what your strengths are and what is
Mhm.
good for you. And in the midst of it, you are growing. And that's one thing that we have to continue to do every day is to continue to grow, continue to learn. If we get up any day and figure, oh, I have it all figured out, something is wrong. We all are learning every day. We all are growing. And as we are thinking back to our vision, the women that we are for that vision that we have, we are not
Mhm.
those women today. Because if we were, then we will already be where we were desiring to be. So that's why we have to continue to take those imperfect actions. So we're continuing to grow to become those women who are, operating multi-million dollar businesses, multi-million dollar law firms, having these podcasts that's reaching millions of people across the world. Those are the steps we have to take.
Okay, so I really like that you talk about take imperfect action. Like, I know a lot of times people are afraid to get on the camera to do videos for whatever. And, I have a 7-day challenge for that. But one of the things I ask in it is, so what? Right? Like one of the things I say is, I have bags under my eyes. I don't get a lot of sleep. Is that going to stop me from being on camera? It used to. But then I had to ask myself, so what? So what? I have bags. Other people have bags. So what?
Yeah.
I have wrinkles. Other people have wrinkles. And so you talking about those, be consistent even in those imperfect moments. I love that. That is huge. That is a huge one. Yeah.
Yeah, because some people, they feel as though, look, if it's not perfect, then I'm not going to do it. And I've had instances there where I had to get over that perfectionism, right? Where
Yes.
everything, it just has to be 100% correct. If it's not correct, then but it's like, no, that's a part of the process. That's a part of you growing and becoming who you're supposed to be, to touch the lives of those you're supposed to touch.
Yes. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yes. And so as that, when we're kind of navigating through this, we have to guard our time and energy. And I don't know if I appreciated that as much early on. And every time I got a call,
Mm.
I'll pick up the phone. Every time somebody called in, my assistant's trying to transfer it. I'm trying to talk to them. And the thing about it is, you have to learn the balance, right? Because if you're on the
Yes.
phone, for my profession, if I'm on the phone talking to my clients, every time that they call, 9 times out of 10, it's taking me from drafting a pleading, or, you know, preparing for a trial or something that's coming up. And so we have to guard that time and energy. And so we have to build out a schedule for us. Okay, these are going to be the times that we can take calls, or this is going to be the times that we schedule consults, or we schedule client follow-ups. This is the time that I'm going to do work. And I will tell you, I am still a work in progress in this area of having a calendar that's really effective for me to
Mm.
do these things. But it's imperative, because also too, most of us, we are wives and we are mothers as well, right? So not only
Right.
are we business women, there's this time where we have to go there and we have to pour back into our family, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
how are you ensuring that you have that energy to show up and be your best self when that time comes? And so learning, when it's time to put on the CEO hat, right? Or when it's time to put on that hat to be a wife, it's time to put on that hat to be a mother, and ensure that you have the energy to do so, because we're truly want to show up as our best selves in every aspect of it. And so however that looks for you, if it's managing your calendar, or you're finding time that you're just going to wind down, like this particular day is just a day that I'm going to rest, I'm not going to do any work, whatever that looks like, you have to find that, and you have to make sure that you're implementing these things, so that way all around your life is balanced.
Okay, first of all, you were just dropping so many good things. I love it. And I love that you talk about having that balance. And this is one of the conversations I have with people, is being that workaholic. And I'm a workaholic, and I am a work in progress as well. And so many of us, if we own a business, man, we could allow it just to consume our lives if we're not careful. And I think it was in the summit. I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but in our summer summit this year for the Oh Yes I Can, I think somebody even said that they schedule in exercise,
Yeah.
right? Like they know that that's important for their overall well being. And so they put a time in their calendar that they're going to exercise. Not so I like that you say get block times off to do certain things, because I am sure you would be on the phone 24/7 if you did not protect your time. And so I think this idea of being very strategic with our time and our energy is also another. I know I keep saying that's huge, because it is huge. All the things that you're saying are so huge and important. And so, yes, protecting our time and being effective and efficient with it is big. And, I think one of my clients said sometime, when we're in the grave, we're not going to have a trophy for basically being a workaholic, right? Like that's, so what? So what that where were you when it was for your family? Like you talked about, you have to take that CEO hat off and put the mom and the wife hat back on. And so, yeah, many of us have multiple roles, whether it's daughter, sister, best friend, coworker, mom, wife. We're wearing multiple hats, and we can't do all at 100% without some type of crash, right? You can't do everything at once because then you're not going to be good at any one thing. So, yeah.
Definitely. And I wanted to piggyback off of it, or at least give a life, sometimes I think it helps when we share like life experiences, right? So you're
Yes.
talking about being a workaholic. So just recently, right? When I say that I am a work in progress, just recently, I'm supposed to be on maternity leave and I'm just, still working, still trying to do this. And so I have my staff who are saying like, when are you going to wind down? I have my judges. I show up in court and my judge is like, why are you here? Right. And then I just have my husband who's giving me the side eye, like, woman,
Yeah.
you need to take a break.
Yeah.
But it's what you were saying. We have to, and sometimes we feel as though if we're not doing anything, if we take that rest, that break, we begin to have this guilt.
Yes.
And sometimes that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That guilt is just like, oh, I'm not doing anything, but
Yeah.
not understanding that in that place of rest, you are able to rejuvenate, you are able to refresh, and then you're able to come back a
Yeah.
better version of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
We
then,
had another speaker at the summit who talked about rest is
yes,
part
we did.
of the process, and that it, and I hadn't thought of it that way. But you're talking about this, and she was talking about this, and I feel like it's a message not just for me. I'm guessing it's a message for just about everybody who is watching or listening to this podcast moving forward, that we have to remember exactly what Kristian is saying. And that is, we have to take time to rest. It's the whole, and I know we've all heard it a million times, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, because if you pass out, you're not helping anybody else get their mask on. So, in order to serve others, which is our heart, I mean, as women in business, that is our heart, to serve others, right? So, in order to serve others, we have to take care of ourselves. So, you are dead on, Kristian. And I felt bad contacting you when I knew you had just had your baby, but it's like, Summit. So,
Right. No, and it was perfect. Like I loved it. And I was so happy that you did, because I was so happy to be a part of it. And as you know, I mean, my heart for women just in general, for us to encourage each other, to pour into one another. And that's another tip right there. Surround yourself with the right people.
yes.
Surround yourself with the right people,
Yeah.
people who are going where you're trying to go, or people who are already there. Because, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? And so if you're with the right people, it's going to help you continue to pursue your goals. It's going to help you not to give up on the vision, right? Because it's not easy. As we're navigating to reach this vision, you're going to have those days when you don't feel like showing up for yourself. You're going to have those days when you may feel overwhelmed or you're just tired. When you have the right people in your corner who can speak life into you, who can encourage you, who can say, guess what? I've been exactly where you are. And I
Mm.
promise you that you're going to overcome and you're going to get through this. It helps. And to also have those people in your corner who's going to say, sit down, take a break, or let me be a lending hand, right? Let me help you in this capacity. The right people, it's invaluable. It's
Right.
invaluable. And it's something that we all need.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you need me to come hold that baby while you work, you just let me know.
like,
Oh,
like I know she would love it. She would love it. And I just have three more tips that I do
yes,
want to
please.
share with the
Please.
community. To learn from failure.
Mm,
I think all of us can probably relate to this. At some point in time, maybe we didn't want to start the business because we were scared of failing. We didn't
mm,
want to take a leap of faith because we were scared of failing. We don't want to share our dreams with other people because we're afraid that, look, what if I don't meet it? What are people going to think? What are they going to say? Well, we learn from the failure. And this is one thing that I know. The only way that you fail is, for one, if you never start, and then if you just stop.
mm,
Anything,
mm.
it's no such thing as failure. They're all learning opportunities
I agree.
to grow and to get better.
I
You
agree.
know, I share that with my son. Like, I make mistakes too. Nobody's perfect, right? You're going to have those instances. You're going to have those moments. The thing is, what wisdom do you glean from it? And
Mm,
then how do you apply it?
hmm Yes. Yes. I 100% agree. When you see it as a failure, it truly is an opportunity to go, what would I do better? What would I do differently? Right? It's an opportunity for growth, that iteration, so that the next time you do that thing, it's better.
Totally. The things that I have not done so well and I had to be corrected on, or I had to learn something from, I will tell you, those are probably the things that stick with me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Another
another
good one. All
thing,
right.
yeah, another thing for us is to take care of our health. Take care of our health. Us, we wear so many different hats, and
Mhm.
sometimes we put ourselves on the back burner. But we
Yes.
have to make, how can you show up in your business if you're
Hmm.
sick and you're down?
Hmm.
How can you be there for your family? And so we have to make that a priority. And this
Hmm.
it gets back to the rest, but of course it's more than just rest, right?
Yes.
What
Hmm.
we're eating. Find some time to get away mentally, right? And a massage or whatever the case it may be. Take the time to do that. Look, I have a massage that I'm supposed to go get right now, and I promise, my husband has asked me 2 weeks in a row, when are you going? When are you going to get it scheduled? It's just, see, one of those examples. It's like,
Right.
we should do it, but
Yeah.
then carving out that time to actually get it in place.
Yeah. That again, going back to put that oxygen mask on yourself first. And I like that you said, are we eating the right thing? It's more than rest. Rest is huge. It really is huge. Are we eating the right things? Are we moving our bodies in the right ways? Are we handling stress in the right ways? So many things that feed into us being at our optimal health so that again we can perform at that optimal level to serve other people. If we're down, we're not serving well. So that's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one that I want to share, and this one is definitely huge for me, is staying anchored spiritually. One thing with everything that I do, I cannot do it if it were not for God. He gave me this calling to be in this position, to be an attorney, to run this firm, to truly have a heart to serve people. And I know that this vision that I have is what He's given me. And so if I'm not connected to Him, all of this crumbles. And so, that's one of those things when it's the last one, but it's the one really, really important one, is
Yeah.
to stay anchored to your
Yeah.
source.
Right. Right. And I'm a fellow Christian, and so I know for me that that also plays an integral part of my physical health.
Yes.
Am I spending time in the Word? Am I spending time in worship? Am I spending time talking to Him? And I find that for me, when I'm not doing those things regularly, I'm also not at my best.
Hmm.
And, my day is not as ordered as if I would have started my day with those things. And so I agree, just because I think we're like-minded in that. Well, we're like-minded on everything you said. It's all really good, but we are like-minded in that for sure.
Definitely.
So I love it. Okay, so that was a lot of tips. I lost count at some point,
Yeah, I think
but
we have 10.
10? 10? Okay. All right. So those were all truly, truly good. And I would say, if you're watching or listening, go back and do it again just to make sure you got all of the goodness that Kristian was talking about. So, Kristian, okay, so we've made it clear you're an attorney. We've made it clear that you have a huge heart for other people. Now, let's talk about what are ways that people can connect with you. Where can they find you on social? And we will put her information in the show notes for sure. Wait, am I remembering correctly? Do you have a book?
I do. I do. I have a book, You're Worth It Because God Said So. Came out December of 2023. It's
Okay.
available on Amazon.
So tell us about that real quick.
Yes. So I share a lot of my story in it, but it's getting specifically women to come and embrace and understand who they are. And it's not based off what society has said. It's not based on your past. It's not based on your failures, your mistakes. It's based on who God says you are, right?
Hmm.
He knew you before He knitted you in your mother's womb. And regardless of what you have experienced, what you have encountered, God's view of you has not changed. And when you embrace that vision, when you embrace who you are, you're able to show up and fulfill the vision. You're able to show up and fulfill your purpose. You're able to walk in the life and the path that God has set for you.
I love it. Okay, so yeah, go grab that. We'll put the link for that in as well. All right, anything else? Any other contact points? And I know we're close on time, and I know you need to go. I hear baby in the background, and I know you need to go take care of that. But just real quick, do you have any other things for people to contact you? And again, we'll put her information in the show notes, but I want you to get in whatever else you want to say before we close out.
Oh, yes, definitely. So you can find us. We're on social media, McCray Stewart and Associates. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can go to msalawfirms.com. All our information is there available. You can DM us, give us a call, whatever is most convenient for you. We're going to be available for you.
Perfect. Kristian, I so appreciate your time, and I'm so glad that you are in my life and in the Oh Yes I Can community. I just love every time I'm around you. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Tracy. Bye, everyone.